It sucks being the only person who knows tech in the vicinity. This error message clearly stated that Find My iPhone should be disabled. For reference, this is what you have to do next, and somehow this user has no clue what to do.
Bro, really? I don't know what I need to do.
Read the error message, it's right there on the top.
Do a backup of my phone?
No, read the message again.
I don't know. Tell me. Shut off my phone?
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal.
I have to give props to a lot of IT guys who are incredibly patient at handling people's utter stupidity at tech. And let me be clear, I said stupidity, not lack of knowledge. Everyone doesn't know everything, or has the time to know everything. Most people don't know how to pirate digital stuff. Lack of knowledge is understandable. This isn't lack of knowledge. This is just stupidity and ignorance. If you don't know how to read instructions, then you'll have to go back to preschool. Actually, no, preschoolers are smarter than you. That said, I do have to admit that people's lack of knowledge of technology can lead to some hilarious results. This doofus attempts to sue Apple after his wife found out that he was cheating through his iMac with a bunch of sex workers that he texted over iMessage. She found out because his Apple devices sync the emails and messages to each other. But I guess the sync fails this time because this dumbass deleted only the messages on his phone, but not the iMac. Also, it's an England hoopla, so I have to play this.
British?
Obviously, the wife files a divorce, but instead of blaming his infidelity, he blamed it on Apple. As someone who is not a fan of Apple products, Apple is totally innocent on this one. You're just a disloyal prick. You ruined your partner's life, emotionally wrecking her, and wasting the time that you could have used finding someone much better than your sorry ass. Imagine the temerity of this loser who thinks that he's not to blame for this situation. You suck at your marriage, and you suck at your tech. But no matter how dumb this guy is, at least his identity is covered so that no one can hound his sorry ass. Anonymity is a tool. It's a weapon that we have to wield responsibly, as it can be used for good, but it can also be used for bad. Also, the people that don't have it are usually very salty.
If you post behind an anonymous account, your opinion is irrelevant.
Is it really irrelevant though? I love how instead of commenting on their points, you just talk about how they are anonymous and therefore irrelevant. If they are irrelevant, you wouldn't have talked about them.
Sure, you have the right to post anonymously, but I don't take you seriously.
If you don't actually take them seriously, you wouldn't be declaring to everyone that you don't take them seriously. If the opinions of these anonymous accounts are irrelevant, then why are you here discussing them? Just treat them as if they do not matter. Apparently, this chick is trying to get all sorts of attention with dumb takes and being really edgy by saying slurs. Okay, here's the attention you ordered. If you excuse me, there are more things to cover. Before we get to the rest of them, here's a video of a cat. Also, as always, I just want to say huge thanks to all these wonderful sponsors. You are all fantastic. If you want to see your names among these legends, then check out the links down below, just $1. And you have supported this channel a lot. Seriously, thank you so much. And now, we have people getting salty at men. This person does not like men just chilling. There's this room consisting of a single sofa, a TV, and a PS4 Pro. I personally would have gotten a PC and a desk, but if consoles are your thing, that's cool. I don't see the issue here.
A single chair because he doesn't expect company.
Well, yeah, a lot of men or just people in general are content living on their own and not expecting friends or family. That or they're broke and friendless.
No enjoyment.
What do you think video games are?
You have sexual fantasies about your mother.
Where the hell did that come from? What makes you assume such a thing?
You only know the simulated life of a video game because you are barely alive.
I love how, despite knowing that men are barely alive, you decide to mock them and their existence. That helps a lot.
Women hate how little it takes for us to be happy.
Yes!
Women hate that you are the walking dead.
Then stay away from us or we'll bite you. The male hating doesn't stop there.
Male friendships last because they are based on hedonism, are low risk and lack depth.
Hedonism? Sorry, but this sounds like a projection on your part.
Most of them rely on alcohol to get together and tend to avoid any confrontations to keep things kumbaya.
Yeah, this sounds more like your friends group rather than men's.
But on the low, they actually hate each other and compete with one another.
Are you sure this is men you're talking about and not, your female friends group?
Of course, they are going to defend their shallow and superficial friendships when all they do is talk about girls, sex, money, sports, and cars.
Lady, I think that's what you and your lady friends are talking about, and you're here being salty about them, so you're projecting your issues to men. No, we do not have superficial friendships and only talk about girls, sex, money, sports, and cars. We do not have friendships, period. And even if we do, we'd rather talk about video games than you. Imagine hating men to this degree.
Playing video games all day and having no real friends isn't happiness. It is distraction from your suicidal ideation.
Yeah, what makes you think that you know what makes us happy? Have you ever actually played video games? They're pretty fun. You can replay them over and over again, and there's an infinite catalog of games that will last us a lifetime. We are spoiled by the number of games that exist in this world. On the contrary, have you tried having friends? They can be fun for sure, but they're also human beings, so you don't know whether they're going to be loyal to you or backstab you or give you a bad influence.
It means he's lazy and will contribute nothing to you or your children's lives besides a paycheck.
If that's the case, you might as well divorce the guy and settle for child support because that guy's not doing anything. Just because we like to play video games doesn't mean we are irresponsible. But you know what? Instead of telling you women that video games is a fun hobby, let me just show you how video games is a fun hobby. The one thing that in my opinion is also very fun about video games is running retro video games of consoles that are no longer in development, like the Nintendo 3DS, where it is already pretty old, but I also emulate other consoles like the NES or the GBA. Guess what I found on my parents' bookshelf? I found a book about game emulation. The title translates to Turning Your PC into a PlayStation. This book is an amazing time capsule from the Windows XP era. It has guides to not just turning your PC to emulate PlayStation games, but also how to emulate a couple of handheld and console games. We have many guides online how to do this right now. Check out GameTech Wiki. It's a great extensive knowledge on video game emulation on all platforms. This book is just a reminder of the limitless possibilities that PC gaming can have. If a Windows XP PC can play games, including emulated ones, any PC can, and you're still a PC gamer. That said, please don't use Windows XP in current year, or at least don't use it connected to the internet. You're gonna get hackers turning your computer into a botnet because the operating system has loads of vulnerabilities that will never be patched by Microsoft. And even so, playing 3D Space Cadet there still makes you a PC gamer. Man, enough with all the man hating and video game hating. I want to talk about this hoopla a couple weeks ago that I forgot to discuss. Godzilla -1 still remains my favorite Godzilla movie, but the public streaming release of this movie got into a bit of a backlash in South Korea. Apparently, it's because of the portrayal of Japan during the 1940s, as some South Koreans interpreted the movie as glorifying kamikaze? Are we watching the same movie?
I think Godzilla fans should understand that many in Southeast Asia still have wounds from Imperial Japan's actions from World War II.
South Korea is not in Southeast Asia, dumbass.
While I disagree with these interpretations, I am not going to dismiss them as I understand the sentiment. In short, read up on some history, people.
As someone who lives in Southeast Asia and who was invaded by Japan during World War II, this is a factually inaccurate observation of the movie and should be disregarded at all costs for the sake of intellectual sanity.
Disagreement doesn't mean one should disregard where that perspective is coming from and even some empathy for it.
Well, you condescending prick, listen to this Indonesian when I say your opinion is invalid and downright trash. And that's all for the video today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please go ahead and click the like button and subscribe for more. Don't forget to check out my ABB Show stream channel, link down below. Go subscribe as always. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.